You have a 45 to 60-minute meeting with an investor. That's your window to deliver your pitch and create a solid first impression, and hopefully secure the crucial investment you need for your startup. This is meeting number 1. Your goal at meeting number 1 is to get people interested enough that they want meeting number 2. But before we start, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. We put out weekly videos on startups and founder-friendly content, and you wouldn't want to miss out on that. Now, key things to remember about pitching. Keep it under 10 to 15 minutes. Be respectful of your audience's time and summarize your ideas into a brief presentation. Tell a story and show your passion. Don't only read off a deck. Don't just talk about numbers. Tell a story. Take your audience on a journey of why this business matters. Don't be afraid to let investors see your excitement over your idea. Have a clear, unique value proposition. Investors often hear dozens of presentations a week. Stand out with a real unique value proposition. Next, anticipate questions. As investors, we'll ask a lot of questions. Though it may not seem like it, getting interrupted is a good thing actually. Don't be offended because it shows your audience is listening and cares enough to voice their concerns. Think through answers to potential questions ahead of time. Don't feel forced to stick to the practice narrative. Be concise when you answer. Don't go around the block when you answer questions, because more often than not, it will only confuse your audience and they may miss your point. Depending on the stage and kind of business, the level of details you share will be different, as well as the sequencing of the slides. However, the basic building blocks of your pitch remain the same. I will share with you that 10 points of every pitch deck must cover. The analogy that I like to use is that your pitch deck has to be simple enough for your grandmother to understand. Now let's start. Number 1, vision and mission. That's the foundation of every company. You start your pitch by telling the investors what your big vision or mission is. What do you want to do? What do you want to solve? Why is this problem specifically? For example, Zomato's mission is to ensure that nobody has a bad meal. Or Swiggy's vision is to elevate the quality of urban consumers by providing unparalleled convenience. So you need to be concise and articulate about what you have set out to achieve. Number 2, the problem. When you're pitching to investors, focus on the problem. Paint a picture. Describe what is going on in the market and how it is a painful problem for your intended target customer. Don't try to solve too many problems at once. Be clear about why the problem is important and who are you solving the problem for. Number 3, market opportunity, aka who can you sell to? You then want to define the market opportunity to investors. They want to invest in big opportunities with large addressable markets, preferably in the billions. Basically, who will you sell to? How many people within your target market can you sell to? And how much will your company stand to make if you sell your product to the people described in point 2? Make sure everything is research-backed and referenced in your slides. Investors will likely do their own independent due diligence on the market opportunity. At least we at Jungle do. Number 4, the solution. Once the problem and the market size is established, you then pitch your solution. Here, you'll tell investors what your solution to the problem is and why it's better than everything out there. This might be a good section to also cover on how your product works. Investors will want to know why your product is unique and what are the key features of the product and its differentiation, why users want to use the product, and so on. Further, if you have any interesting underlying technology, both existing and that in development, any intellectual property rights, patents, copyrights, trademarks, this may be a good section to mention it. Emphasize why this will be difficult for a competitor to replicate. Number 5, business model, aka how you make money. Investors will want to know how you are going to make money as a business. In this section, you will want to talk about your current and future monetization strategies and unit economics. Unit economics mean how much gross profit you will make on each sales after netting all your COGS and variable costs. Make sure it's trending positive. Make sure your projections are realistic. You don't want prospective investors to immediately question your projections as absurd or just not believable. Avoid the trap of saying you will grow revenues by 10x in 1 year, but only increase sales and marketing costs by 2x. Number 6, traction and customer feedback. Be sure to include this slide as a testament to your product market fit. Talk about the early traction the company has gotten. Sales, traffic to the company's website, app downloads, and other metrics that you are tracking as a company. If you're a B2B business, then do add logos, customer testimonials, strategic partnerships that you have negotiated. Number 7, the team. Who are the people behind the company? Again, a vital slide in your pitch. The team. As an investor, I'd like to know who I'm talking to. Why are you the best team to solve the problem that you have identified? Many investors believe that a company's team is the most important determinant on whether or not to invest. Remember, VCs invest in people, not just the tech. Number 8, competition and global comparables. Please, please, please don't say, we have no competition. If you say that, more often than not, you have not done proper research and it will not look good. The competition slide will help emphasize on how your model is different from the others in the market. Ensure to be clear about who your competitors are and what gives your company a competitive advantage. Be prepared to answer questions about your competitors. If you don't understand your competitors, then the investor may conclude that you really don't understand the market. Another good thing to have is a slide on global companies that are similar to what you are building. As an investor, I spend much of my time looking at more developed markets for clues as to what's next in this market. So to give investors a reference point as to who you aspire to be will make for a stronger case. Number 9, growth plan. No matter how good your product is, you will need to have a good marketing plan to get customers or users. So be clear in how you will drive customer acquisition and the associated costs. What key marketing channels will you use? Is it feet on street, paid search, social media, TV, radio, email marketing, and so on and so forth? What are your preliminary customer acquisition costs per customer? And correspondingly, what is the projected lifetime value of a customer? Will you make back your customer acquisition cost? What early successes have you had and what marketing channels have worked for you? And finally, the funding ask. How much money will you need in exchange for how much equity? How do you plan to use the money? What major milestones you think you will be able to achieve with the investment? Thinking of the pitch in these simple terms will ultimately help you boil your pitch deck down to the fundamentals, which will in turn enable you to clearly pitch the idea to an investor. What's really important is not to go into the weeds of the details, because what you're trying to do is give investors enough information that they want more information. Happy pitching! Thanks for watching, everyone. Please click like and subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We put out weekly videos on startups and founder-friendly content, and you wouldn't want to miss out on that.